team of Times Now wishes each and every viewer very happy Diwali, and exactly how the Prime Minister's kept up with the tradition of celebrating Diwali each year was witnessed today as well. The Prime Minister celebrated Diwali with the Jawans in Himachal Pradesh's Lepcha district. He reached the remote village adjoining the China border just this morning. In fact, he took to social media. X said reached Lepcha in Himachal to celebrate Diwali with our brave security forces, and he, remember, has had a long-standing tradition of celebrating the Festival of Lights with soldiers guarding the country's borders. So he kept up with this tradition this year as well. Let's quickly go across to Pradeep Datta joining us with the latest on the manner in which, Pradeep, the Prime Minister went ahead with Diwali celebrations, wishing you and your family a very happy Diwali to begin with. Take us through the Prime Minister's plans and what was witnessed in Lepcha a short while ago.
Wish you too a happy Diwali. Yes, you rightly said the Prime Minister has kept with the tradition of celebrating Diwali with all those brave hearts who continue to guard the frontiers of the country. If we talk about this particular area, Lepcha, this has got one of the most hostile terrain. It is close to line of actual control, and that is bordering China. So here he is celebrating Diwali with ITPP officials and also with brave hearts from the Indian Army. And we have seen that ever since he have taken over the reins of the country in his hand. In 2014, he had been doing so. First year, he went to Siachen. After that, we have seen he had been to different areas like Gurez, he had been to Kargil, he had been to Naushera, he had been to Hossainiwala border. Last year, while he was in Kargil, he recited one of those lines, Tan Tiranga, Man Tiranga, Rahat Tiranga, Chahat Tiranga, Jeet Ka Vishwas Tiranga. So that time he was conveying a message. If you see the tricolor fluttering, it is not because of the blowing wind, it is because of the last breath of the soldier on the ground, because of which you are not only safe, you are having a safe and sound sleep also because of these men who are guarding the borders, because it is their unwritten commitment towards the nation. So how come you forget that? Often Prime Minister says that when he is celebrating Diwali with the soldier, he is celebrating Diwali with his family members, because for him the soldiers are the family, so you can't forget them. They are hundreds of miles away from their near and dear one on this occasion, because they want to ensure safety, security and integrity of the country. So one has to remember them always, because normally what used to happen, that God and soldier are only remembered during the tough times, and once the things are normal, we forget them. But here the Prime Minister is trying to tell the world, especially the countrymen, you should not forget your soldiers, because if you sleep in peace, it is because of their commitment and their duty that they are guarding the frontiers of the country, because they stand like a rock. They do not mind even taking bullets on their body, because that is their unwavering commitment towards the nation. So Prime Minister celebrating and also sending a message loud and clear that we can't forget their supreme sacrifice, because whether it was 1947, whether it was 65, whether it was 71, whether it's a counter-terror operation, they're always there for the nation. Because of them that we are here celebrating this festival of light peacefully, because each and every Indian are indebted to them. So that's what the Prime Minister is doing. Because if we have seen in the past, normally the Prime Minister used to celebrate Diwali in their official residence in Delhi, and nobody used to go and meet them. But the Prime Minister started it from 2014, and since then he's continuing. And now many people in the government, they have started taking cue from what Prime Minister is doing. They have also started visiting these areas during these festival times, so that they can tell them that you are not alone. Because you are our family. If you are away from your family, guarding the frontiers of the country, guarding those difficult terrain and border, and we are here with you along with 1.4 billion Indians who are always praying with you. Because if you stand for the countrymen stand with you along with the Prime Minister. So it's a very beautiful message, because it's one of the best gestures from the Prime Minister's side, because he's offering sweets to them. I had been interacting with many of the soldiers. I said, well, how do you feel when you see the Prime Minister among you? They said that they feel rejuvenated. It gives
often
a
seen exchanging sweets, with the several security forces personnel, and not just in one part of the country. We've seen him visit the northern part of the country, the northeastern part of the country, and it's been a very interesting picture the last 9 years. And those are some of the glimpses, Pradeep, as we speak with our viewers and really try and put out these images of the Prime Minister's celebrations, with our Jawans year after year. Talk about 2014 to 2023. Those are the several images of how the Prime Minister went ahead with his celebrations on the Festival of Lights. He's made it very clear, Pradeep, essentially that, here are people who've been guarding our borders, who've been guarding each and every citizen of the country, and they do not necessarily get to celebrate this festival with their family members. And that's exactly why he keeps sending out this message year after year. If they cannot be with their family back home, the Prime Minister is going to ensure that they don't feel left out or alone.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That's what I had been telling you earlier also, because in 2014, this started. First time he went to Siachen. We know that one of the most difficult terrain where these soldiers are guarding our frontiers, and he went to that area. Next year, he went to Gurez. Then he went to Naushera. Then he went to Rajouri. He went to Hossainiwala border in Punjab. He went to so many other places. And last time he was in Kargil, because from there he sent a message loud and clear, not only to China, but also to their men, that you should, because the whole country stands with you, because they are guarding one of the most difficult frontiers. And he was also remembering the supreme sacrifice of all those soldiers, because whenever he coming to the line of control here in Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh, he had been 5 times during the last 10 years. And then in Lepcha, because if we talk about this Lepcha area, it's close to line of actual control. It's bordering China, and everybody knows it's one of the most difficult and hostile terrain. If you look at the kind of clothing, that means here already the winter has started. The temperature is during the night time is -°C, because normally where even the breath freezes. So in such frontiers, if the men are guarding, you can't treat them like simply unsung heroes, because they are the real heroes, because rest of them are only real heroes what you are seeing on the screen. They are the real heroes who are guarding the borders of the country, because they are standing like a rock. They are there like a wall. And we have seen them how they had been able to ensure an integrity of the country right from 1947. Then there was a 1965 war, 62 war, 71 Kargil war, even the counter-terror operation. And every time they had been able to give a befitting reply to the enemy. It is because of them that the enemy cannot think of any kind of a misadventure on this side. Whenever they have done so, they had been given a strong response. They had been given a befitting response, and they had been hit hard.
And it most certainly is a morale booster. The Prime Minister of the country, the biggest politician, the most important person in the country, perhaps taking out this day for those serving the country, it most certainly does send out a very big message indeed. Pradeep, many thanks for joining us with the latest. The Prime Minister keeping up with his yearly tradition of celebrating Diwali in a certain fashion, as has been